Nina, let's start with you. You heard Tim Ryan there making the case that the Democrats, their brand in some ways is worse than Donald Trump's. The president's approval rating has hovered in the mid-30s for some time now. What does that say about where the Democrats stand?
And the Democrats' polling among people in this country is not better. I mean, it really says that the Democrats cannot just run an anti-Trump campaign. That didn't work in 2016, and it certainly did not work in the special elections that we just saw. 4 consecutive losses, not to mention some special elections last year. The fact of the matter is that we need a New Deal remix, and the Democratic Party should be the party standing up for the folks. The Democratic Party needs to go back to the FDR when he talked about an economic bill of rights in 1944. They talked about good jobs, decent wages, good living conditions, or decent living conditions, which I would say good living conditions, education, and protections for people who need it, like elderly people, disabled people, people who are unemployed. That is a solid message, but just running against Mr. Trump is not going to win over or motivate voters in this country.
Maria, to you, there was some talk this week about Nancy Pelosi's place within the Democratic Party. Her defenders cite the fact that she is a prolific fundraiser. She herself says that she's worth the trouble. But one Texas Democrat, Philemon Vela, made this counter-argument. Listen.
Oh, there's no question she is a prolific fundraiser. She raised millions and millions of dollars, but what has that money gotten us in the last 4 election cycles?
Maria, has that fundraising advantage ultimately benefited Democrats if they have continuously suffered losses?
Look, let's be very clear. Everybody likes to talk about these last 4 special elections and the fact that Democrats lost and try to equate that to the death of the Democratic Party. That is absolutely ridiculous, Boris, because let's understand these districts were ruby red districts. The fact that Democrats were even in contention means that we were in a very good position and will be in a very good position to continue to make gains going into 2018. Look, Jon Ossoff, sure, he might have made some mistakes, but from everything that I understand, he ran a very good campaign. He came within less than 4 points of Karen Handel when Tom Price, who ran just last November, won that seat by 23 points. Those are huge gains, Boris. I agree with Nina. We can't just have an agenda that is anti-Trump. And guess what? We don't. We talk about and need to continue to aggressively talk about what we are doing for middle-class families, for low-income families, for all of those families who were not born with silver spoons in their mouths or trust funds in the bank. We need to talk about how Republicans want to take away health care from 24 million people, the same health care that guess who passed it in the Congress? Nancy Pelosi. The reason why Republicans hate Nancy Pelosi and use her as a lightning rod is because she has been such an effective legislator. And for those people who believe that even if she steps down, that Republicans will stop using her as a lightning rod, I think are being naive. So we have a lot of promising things that we can run on. We are making gains. You said it, Boris. Donald Trump is at 36% approval rating, which is a record low. The American people chose the Democratic agenda over the Republican agenda in this past election cycle by almost 3 million votes. Those are things we need to continue to remember and continue to run on aggressively.
Now, but Boris, the Democrats have lost over 1,100 seats over the last decade. So I agree with Maria. This is not just about those 4 special elections. This is about the fact that Democrats have lost state legislatures, governors' mansions, and seats in the House of Congress over the last 10 years. That is what this is about. And we need to wake up and get a clue that it's not just about the person who can raise the most money. It is about the person that can touch the hearts of the people and get folks to get out there and vote. And my God, if Democrats are not going to do it, who else will do it?
I completely agree with that, Nina, and we need to work towards getting the right candidates to run in the right places and to talk about our agenda, which the majority of the American people agree with us on.
But not just talking about it, Maria, we got to be about it. We have to do it. It has to make a difference. Just in California, the state, the House, the leader of the House leader in California, the majority leader in California, just killed Medicare for all. What kind of democratic value is that? And we can't blame that on the Republicans or the Russians.
Yeah,
Those were
I agree.
Democrats that did that.
A very passionate argument. Unfortunately, ladies, we have to leave it there. Nina Turner, Maria Cardona, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Stay with
Boris.
us.